Day and night, the lonely loner seems to free his mind at night. At night. At night.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy, AJ Noir. We are back. We are so back with another episode, Noir Crimes. This is my host, co-host, the one, the only, Mrs. Allie. We were talking off air. Pete Davidson, electric slide into her DMs. What's going on, girl?
Pete Davidson. He's so handsome. Don't come for me. I know he's kind of a douche, but he's a very handsome douchebag. Dude, we are so back. You and I are just going through stuff. We're so tired. We're exhausted, but we want to talk about something fun this time. So
Definitely something fun. Speaking of going through stuff, I don't know if you saw on IG. I'll talk a little bit about it because I keep getting threats from somebody who shall not be named. No, not Voldemort, but
close second.
In order to gain more views and followers, I will do whatever it takes. I pride myself on that. If they say, hey, AJ Noir, go run down the street butt ass naked, I will do that.
Just don't run by a park.
No. I will do it. I'll find an area to do it in. Rather remote, you know.
Actually, right now is the perfect time because, as our viewers know, you're from Colorado. I used to live in Colorado. Fires happening all over Beulah, but there's a ton of smoke. So maybe this is the time for you to run down
Not
the
only
street
that
naked.
is a good time, and you and me want all the smoke, because like I said, I will post all the tea that happened with me and my ex. If you get one of our videos to 1,000 views, one of them is already
halfway there.
I will just put it out there now. If you want to hear that, let us know in the comments first and foremost, and then you know what to do. Get that video to 1,000 views, and we'll do it.
I want you guys to tell us what you want to hear. Like what's the biggest stuff that is catching your attention, and let us know, and we'll talk about it.
100%. But yes, back to the fires. Our thoughts and prayers go out to everybody in Beulah, everybody in Colorado City, everybody in the area that is affected by this, that have lost their homes, that have been evacuated. Our thoughts and prayers are out to you, your families, your livestock, everything. And if there's anything that the Noir Crime family can do, we will. Just reach out. So
that's what I wanted to say. If we know of any or hear of any GoFundMes that are being raised for any of the areas, I personally know a family that their house was completely destroyed in the fires. They live in Beulah. If we hear anything, we're going to go ahead and put those GoFundMes either in the description of the video or we'll put it in the comments, and you can donate.
Yep, put them in the comments. We will pin the comments so other people can see it as well.
Yeah.
I just want to give a quick shout out to my friend Rory, who I did some skit work with over the past few weeks. She lives in Colorado City. She was forced to evacuate. So shout out to her. Thoughts and prayers.
And she did so good in those videos. Shout out. Seriously. They were so good. I love them.
Yeah, she's outstanding girl, works hard, shows up, does her thing. So shout out to her. We're with you. We're with everybody. So let's get into it.
Let's do it.
The second MMA fighter that we are going to talk about on this channel, the one, the only, Mr. America, Mr. 1920s, Sean Strickland. First MMA fighter, in case you are new to the channel, was War Machine John Copenhaver, who is currently serving life in prison for the assault on the one, the only, former corn star Christy Mack. So although Sean hasn't really committed any crimes, being that this is a true crime channel, we do also talk about gossip. Look at the Chappelle Roan video where people were just coming at our necks in the comment section.
They didn't even watch it.
Yeah, exactly.
Go watch the video.
So Sean Strickland has a ton of controversies. None that's really landed him in hot water, but he's had a rough life. He grew up in California. His dad was an alcoholic. His mother wasn't really the type of mother that a boy of his age should have had, meaning that nobody really gave him direction in his life. His dad would abuse him, unfortunately, in ways that, you don't ever want to hear a child get. Where are you going? Okay. Sorry, my daughter. Y'all, sorry about that.
Hey, we stopped the show for our kids, FYI.
We do. Dad life is the best life.
It's the best
mom life.
Yes.
So, as I was saying, we just Sean has had a rough childhood, and that's partly why he turned to fighting. He got picked on at school, he got arrested, went to juvenile for a little bit, and, that type of lifestyle led to him having one of the most successful careers a UFC fighter can have. Yeah. So, Ali, the first question I'll ask, how did you first hear about Sean Strickland, and what do you think of him as a casual UFC fan? And casual UFC fan, people take that as an insult. I only call it casual because, I watch all the fights almost every weekend.
Yeah.
And, you watch here and there.
Yeah.
So what are your overall thoughts of Sean Strickland?
You can call me a casual UFC fan. I literally know nothing about it. I only know Sean because of fucking how funny he is. Oh my God. And he's younger than me, by the way. So he was born 1991. I'm 1989. So
what? My goodness, alert the media. That 80s. Is bananas.
But he's just, man, that guy, he's just a likable person. And I know there's a lot of controversy, some racist, leaning stuff and stuff like that, which I think that's spun a little out of control right now. Now, but with UFC specifically, no, I'm a novice. I don't know anything about it. I don't know the rules. I don't know anything about it. So I think I've watched Conor McGregor a handful of times. I know all the greats' names. If somebody, told me to point out one of a great UFC fighter, I could probably do it. Other than that, man, I'm just here for the funny stuff. So I did read though that when you were talking about his early life, man, I think he tried to attack his dad one time.
He did.
In defense of his mom.
Yeah.
And hell yeah. All I have to say is hell yeah.
And he's had such a rough life. In one of his fights when he's champion again, but in his first title stint as champion. I'll get into that in a second, but I wanted to piggyback off of what you said of him being such a likable guy. He's always been the underdog.
Yeah.
He's won fights that he shouldn't have. The first title fight he had against Israel Adesanya was one of the biggest upsets in UFC history, not just from a fighting standpoint, but from a betting standpoint as well. And he went out and absolutely dog-walked Israel Adesanya. I remember I bet on him. I won like $600 that night because I just had a feeling he would win.
Yeah.
And even he lost the belt in the fight, the build up to that fight against Dricus du Plessis. He was talking his normal stuff. He was calling Dricus du Plessis, he was African. He was calling him Dutchman, basically saying Dricus is not from Africa. He looks more Dutch. I thought that was hilarious. He'd always be like, to the death, Dutchman. So, but in that buildup, Dricus struck a nerve, bringing up Sean's dad and the abuse that Sean was going through at that time.
Yeah.
Sean lost both his fights to Dricus du Plessis, and he looked like he was out of the title picture 100%. Had a big win in February of this year against Fluffy Hernandez, and had one of the biggest fights in UFC history, definitely one of the biggest fights of 2026, when he fought Khamzat Chimaev May 9th, 2026, in a fight where he was once again a heavy underdog. And he went out and won, and he is a two-time UFC middleweight champion. So the point is, the dude is a real-life Rocky story.
Yeah.
He is Rocky of MMA. Just from where he came from, the opponents he's faced, this man has literally accomplished it all, and he's bona fide UFC Hall of Famer. But also, what's made him crazier, though, is his comments. And, it's not unlikely for any athletes to have a voice in the politic world, but Sean is probably the poster boy for all sports, football, basketball, baseball, hockey, to truly talk about issues in the world.
Yeah. And I think it's the same, like if you see like a rock star, okay? So like if you see like the making of a rock star and you're just like, that person was like bred to be a rock star, and you're just like, the story and everything. Same thing with him, man. Like I don't know if with his life, like the way that everything ended up, like I don't think he'd be anybody but a UFC fighter. Like that stuff that you have to get out, like that's aggression that you can only get out in the ring. Like it's insane.
For sure. And you get paid doing it.
Yeah.
Like for somebody that has trauma the way he does, that is the best job in the world.
Yeah.
Because you can literally bring back everything that has ever hurt you, everything that's ever pissed you off, whether it be your dad, coworker. You can put it in your fists, you can put it in your elbows, you can put it in your knees.
Yeah.
And you could just unload it on somebody for 25 minutes or less.
And what I appreciate about that, our last video, we were talking about Carmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf. Was that, I think, his name? And we were talking about how men just will fight, with their fists. You don't need weapons to
Yes.
do that. And it's just such, I appreciate the sport because of it. Like, it's just such
Yeah.
a
And
manly thing to do. It's just get in there and beat each
100%.
other up. It's crazy. I
And
love it.
Sean is the poster boy for that as well. If there's a streamer, YouTuber, commenter on any social media platform that has an issue with them, he invites them out to his gym
Mm-hmm.
to where, yes, it's all good. You're good. Do you wash your hands? Okay. Where at? Okay. So anyway, like I was saying,
So cute.
where was I? Okay, yeah. So he literally has them show up to his gym so he could beat the brakes off him, basically. Yeah. And he gets a lot of flack from that. People are like, well, he's beating up not actual fighters. He's beating up, nerds in their parents' basement that, beat off to freaking, what, all day. Like fight an actual fighter, which he does.
Yeah.
But that's part of the backlash that he gets. He beats up on streamers who will never see a UFC octagon and fight at the highest level. He beats up on commenters who will never see.
He doesn't beat up on them. They agree.
And props to them for agreeing too, because they could be so scared. And there's dudes with bloody teeth, broken noses, bloody noses.
Yeah,
so
but
I want to give props to them.
You know what they get from that? They get just all of the accolades for that. Like, you got in the ring, Sean. Like, good for you, man.
Yeah.
So no, it's not him bullying people. It's him going toe to toe, with these people who agreed to it.
People who have a problem with him. That's the thing.
Yeah.
He even posted a video on his Instagram one time, like, I just got in a road rage with this guy. And I said, pull over. Let's fight about it man to man. He pulled out a gun and he's like, hey, I'm not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
He's like, just fight me like a man. That's his thing. Like, we will handle this like men. It doesn't get more American than that. And that's why he's also so beloved.
But he does. I mean, he has a lot.
He does.
Yeah.
Whenever the UFC holds open workouts, which is workouts the Wednesday before the fight, and once you can see the fighters warm up, hit pads, do drills and whatnot, he literally gets two random guys from the crowd, gives them boxing gloves, and those guys go bodies.
Shut up.
30 seconds.
I love it.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, he's awesome. But yes, to get into it, he has had a lot of haters based off of his LGBTQ remarks in multiple interviews and social media posts. Strickland has made comments criticized as homophobic and transphobic. One of the most public incidents occurred before UFC 297 when he responded aggressively to a reporter's question about past anti-LGBTQ plus comments, drawing widespread condemnation. Excuse me. He's also had sexist comments, and for those who don't know, he makes a lot of sexist comments, but he also has a wife.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's the same thing as when I say I hate men. And I've been married for 11 years. You know what I mean?
There you
Just
go.
say what you want to say. Like, it's, oh my God.
I'll let you keep talking for a second, Ali.
Okay. I just specifically when it comes to Sean, okay, like I don't agree with his comments. You don't have to agree with what he's saying.
I think I was in the bathroom. Emma!
But he goes at it, okay? And that's something that I can appreciate. I think you can appreciate, especially during this time, is that you can actually appreciate the fact that somebody's going to say what they're feeling. Like, we can all think things and we'll probably never say them out loud because we're going to be basically, hit over the head. We're going to be, condemned from the world. Like, he just doesn't care. Now, there are some controversial comments that he has made, and again, that I do not agree with. Racist comments, sexist comments, again, don't agree with it. And I'm a woman. So if he's going to be saying stuff about women and I'm laughing at it, I think it's funny. But you don't have to agree with it.
Thank you for everything, bro.
Here, I'm going to wait till he gets back on. Hold on.
I'm back, chat.
You're back, chat.
Sorry, it's bingo night. No one's here to watch my kid and her friends. I'm delegating.
Okay. It's going to be a short video, so we don't have to.
Yeah.
I was letting them know, like, just because somebody says something bad and you laugh at it, doesn't mean that you have to agree with it. You don't agree with it. What I agree with is free speech. I agree with the fact that you can say something no matter how heinous it is, and you can say it because that's the country that we live in.
Yeah.
It's not like we agree with his comments.
No, and you don't have to. That's the freedom of our country. Jay, Yes, just come back. I agree. And, the UFC just signed a big deal with Paramount a year ago. They
Yeah.
got $8.8 billion from them. And, Strickland has already fought twice under that banner. And after his fight against Fluffy Hernandez in February, post-fight press conference, he was saying some crazy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And they cut his mic off in the
Yeah.
post-fight press conference. So people were like, how is he going to fare in this era that the UFC's in of being with Paramount? Are they going to cut him off? Are they going to censor him? Why
Yeah.
haven't they censored him yet? Dana White, president of the UFC, believes in free speech. Go look at one of his most recent interviews about when Josh Hokett called Michelle Obama a man.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I don't agree with it. I think it's messed up. But hey, it's freedom of speech, which is
Yeah.
literally what America is.
Yeah,
It's
and
not
I
other
don't agree with Dana
countries.
White on a lot of things. Like
No.
his love for Trump, I don't agree with. Like, but that's me. I
I could
don't own the UFC.
No, but I could also explain that to you. Now, on the outside looking in, is it a little weird? Yeah. But when the UFC was still trying to be on the come up and
Mm-hmm.
become a regulated sport, one of the states that they were already regulated in was in New Jersey and Vegas.
Yeah.
So Trump would have Dana hold fights at the not the Taj Mahal, at the Trump Hotel. I don't know why I thought Taj Mahal, but at the Trump Hotel in New Jersey.
Yeah.
So Trump helped Dana a lot when the
Yeah.
UFC was in the dark ages. So that's that. Is it borderline weird now that they're friends? Yeah, but hey, they just had a freaking fight at the White House lawn.
I mean,
That's history.
if they just want to come
History.
out and say that they're gay with each other, that's okay. Like just be yourself. It's okay. I get it though, and I get that Trump before he became president was a businessman.
Yeah.
But who cares about my politics? That's what I'm saying. Like we should be able to say what we feel and just say it. And who
Yeah.
cares? And if you get offended, you can come to me. We can have a chat. If you want to
Exactly.
fight Sean for what he says, go fight him.
And people do, and I give them respect,
Yeah.
especially when they're not fighters,
And they probably want to punch him in the face anyway. Good.
but they can't because he's just too good.
He's very, and I watched a couple of videos that he's so like, I don't even know the word for it. He's so quick, like with his
Yeah.
movements, and I'm just like
Yeah.
but he's like a lunatic quick. Like
Oh,
if you're
yeah.
trying to fight like a crackhead in the street,
Yeah.
like they're just kind of like feisty and like quick with it. That's
Yeah.
kind of what he reminds me.
He actually got a lot of criticism for a couple fights because he always promoted, selling a fight is selling a fight. And we're going to talk about that here in a second. But he would always be like, to the death, it's going to be a bloodbath. And he would go out and just jab, throw a kick, jab, throw a kick, Philly shell. He drew a lot of criticism from the MMA world. But,
Yeah.
it's funny. I agree. He is quick. His 1-2 combination is one of the most deadly 1-2 combinations I've seen in UFC history. I've been watching the sport for 19 years now.
Yeah.
So, his fighting style is one of the best. He rarely gets hit. He's only been knocked
And he
out
has
a
crazy
handful
eyes.
of
Like I would
times.
never want to fight that man. Like the eyes. Yeah.
Especially when he looks mad.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, some more of his comments. He has repeatedly made remarks about women that many have called misogynistic. These included saying women shouldn't have the right to vote, belittling women's MMA. I'm not pissed off about belittling women's MMA because I've said it before on my other channel, AJ Noir, that women's MMA is boring. It
Yeah.
is. It straight up is. I can't remember the last time, not even a women's title fight, a women's MMA fight in general has had a, finish in a fight,
Yeah.
whether it be knockout, TKO, submission.
Yeah.
I do not know. For Little J. Yeah, so I can't remember. It's boring fights. It's these women that love to wrestle, barely strike. So I don't see how that's a misogynistic or sexist remark because it's just the truth.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, here's the thing about I mean, I'm a woman, so I'm going to go ahead and speak on that.
Yes.
I've never in my life ever watched a sport that women are playing or in that I've actually enjoyed. And it's not even like me, like I don't, what I enjoy is like full on manly hitting and killing,
Yeah.
trying to kill each other. And I don't know why, but when women are doing it, I just don't see it doesn't do anything for me. Like it doesn't make me
Yeah.
excited, it doesn't do anything. Do I appreciate? Because I could never. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like good for you, girl. Like go get it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's just like I don't, for some reason, I don't like seeing women get beat up. I just don't. And maybe I'm sexist. I don't know.
No.
But I've never watched a female UFC fight and been like, that's awesome. I'm going to go ahead and do that again.
Yeah. There's a women's UFC MMA fight that is in the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
between Zhang Wei Li and Joanna Jędrzejczyk, which was a great fight. I highly
Mm-hmm.
recommend going to watch it. But there's very few and far between moments other than, a couple Ronda Rousey fights. When Ronda was at her peak, that's when I feel many people were into women's MMA, because you can't say one Ronda Rousey fight was boring.
Oh,
The
yeah.
only
And
bad
she's a
thing
household name too.
she
So she's like
is,
everybody, whether you like her or not, you know who she is.
but like Ronda, Misha Tate,
Oh, yeah.
Nacarano, Kat Zingano,
And see,
Chris
that's crazy.
Cyborg.
Like, I know these women and I
Yeah.
don't watch it. And it's just like, that's a testament to them. Like, good for you, like getting
Yeah.
into something that's male dominated.
Yeah.
Go get it. I just don't want to watch you. Like, I know
That's
that
fair.
sounds, but I know who you are. Congratulations.
Yeah, so
Like,
I'll give him a break there to
yeah.
where it's just like, it's not that exciting. It just ain't. He's also made some political and inflammatory rhetoric. Strickland frequently comments on politics, culture, often using provocative language. His outspoken style has generated significant backlash and media attention, regardless of whether people agree with his views. Strickland has also spoken publicly about having been involved with Neo. I won't say the actual word, but think of the board game. It rhymes with the board game Yahtzee. With
We'll
Neo
just say Yahtzee.
with neo-Yahtzee ideology as a teenager, he
Yeah.
has attributed that period to an abusive upbringing and has said he moved away from those beliefs as he got older. So he was basically American History X.
Well, he was expelled from school, I think, because of a hate crime.
Yep,
Yeah.
he was. I don't remember the exact details of that, but that is the event that landed him in juvie.
Yeah.
Um,
And you can this is the thing, like you can like the man. You don't have to agree with everything he does or says.
exactly.
And he was a stupid teenager and he paid the price for that. And
We
at the
all
same
have a
time,
past.
passed. And it's just like just because you like somebody who is now famous and who
Yeah.
has made a name for himself, you don't have to agree with everything he's done.
No, not at all. And, going back onto the selling a fight notion, he was supposed to fight Hamzat Chimaev, who is a Chechnyan from
Hmm.
Russia, spent time in Sweden, and currently resides in the UAE. Sean made a lot of comments about Hamzat, calling him a goat fucker, basically,
Dear God,
which is extremely racist. But
extremely racist.
that was his main catchphrase leading into his most recent fight that happened in May of this year, calling Hamzat a goat fucker, threatening to shoot Hamzat and his team. But people took those words out of context because he's like, look, if me and Chimaev want to fight man to man, we will do that.
Yeah.
But if he brings 3 other dudes, that don't belong in this country, these are his exact words. If he brings dudes that don't belong in this country, then I'm going to shoot them. And these aren't the first remarks he's made about that part of the world.
Yeah.
Former UFC welterweight champion Bilal Muhammad has had issues with him. He said about Bilal Muhammad, looks like the reason why I have to take my shoes off at airports. And I'm like, buddy, my gosh. Like,
okay, I'm sorry, but I've heard worse on Instagram. Like I've heard worse on social media. Right.
Call of Duty chat rooms.
There is a reason my son is a Call of Duty savant. He is so good at it. And there's a reason he's not allowed to wear headphones and we mute everything. It's insane in those rooms. Like
it is.
Insane.
It is.
Now,
but I think coming from a professional athlete, that's not something you hear every day.
yeah,
You know?
I mean, that's true. And yes, and I can agree and I can see the other side too, where it's like you're in the spotlight. Maybe you didn't ask for it, but you're in it and you're appreciating it and you're benefiting from it. Maybe you are set to a higher standard than just,
Probably.
Me on Instagram or something like that. So
Yeah.
I get it. Now, he did say something. This is what pisses me off.
Okay.
And I'm going to say that this is from his stupid neo-Nazi upbringing. He called Bad Bunny, which I love Bad Bunny. He called him a gay foreigner. And I'm like, dude, he's Puerto Rican,
Yeah.
part of America.
He was
Like,
wrong.
you can't, if you want to be racist, be a smart racist. Like, know your history and know geography.
Yeah, that's true. But here's another reason why he gets a lot of backlash is he'll say stuff like that. Then he'll be like, no, I'm just playing. I got a lot of love for people of that ethnicity. I love my black fans. I love my Mexican fans. I love my, Jew fans.
Yeah.
So people are like on this roller coaster with him of like,
Yeah.
well, which is it? Is he a racist? Is he a Yahtzee? Is he this? Is he that?
I mean, I think he's been hit in the head enough that he's probably just bonkers crazy, honestly. And I can appreciate that. Like, I'm here for it.
Yeah. Oh, I am too.
Like if I mean, we talk about, CTE in football all the time.
Yeah,
Like they're all on emotional roller coasters if it's not dealt with.
for sure.
Imagine being hit in the head over and over for 10 years, 15 years,
Mm,
and being in probably the harshest environment that you could fight
mm.
in. And of course you're going to be crazy. I'm sorry, you just are.
Yeah, perfect example of that is BJ Penn, who UFC legend, been arrested multiple times. I'm pretty sure he is suffering from symptoms of CTE.
Mm.
Chuck Liddell, another example. So, Sean is just a loose cannon. And that's partly why he wasn't invited to the White House card,
Hmm.
because they knew he'd start a ruckus. He says good things about Trump. He says bad things about Trump.
Didn't he show up anyway?
He did. So he showed up at the Ellipse, which was basically one giant watch party of the White House card, literally right down the street from where the fight was being held. And apparently they had a boxing ring there. And there were other fighters there too. I think Juliana Pena was there. Logan Paul was even there.
Yeah.
And he was in a ring. He was basically just causing havoc. Like that story is weird because nothing else about that really released.
Well, didn't he get arrested for like, I think it was like, what do they call it when you not start a riot, but like it's like something about the peace. Like you're,
Disturbing the peace.
yeah, disturbing the peace. And I'm just like, you could literally say that about anybody and
You
arrest them.
could,
I don't
but
know. So here's where I stand. If anybody cares about my opinion about this stuff.
we do. We all do.
Again, I am not white. Like, yes, I have Irish background in me, but I am like 60 something percent Spanish, Portuguese, and Aztec Mexican. Okay. Like I can say this, all right, despite the color of my skin. I think everybody should say whatever they want.
Yeah.
And I think once we get to that point, we can grow as a country and not be so offended by things that you shouldn't be offended by. And then we
Yeah.
can weed out the stuff that is offensive and be like, hey, we probably should stray away from calling somebody a
Yeah.
gay foreigner. And then we can go ahead and do that. But you are having people now being upset about like the smallest minuscule things of that you shouldn't even be offended by.
Yeah. Oh,
The
that's
the
true.
names that I have been called when people thought I was white, Mexicans, my Mexican people have thought I was white and called me racist names and nothing
Yeah.
happened to them.
Yeah.
I want to equal across the board. I want to say whatever we want to say
Yeah.
and go from there.
I think freedom of speech is only a matter of personal perception, a
Oh
matter
yeah.
of enculturation. If your parents say something is bad, you're going to grow up thinking it's bad.
Yeah.
If your parents raise you thinking, don't touch the stove, you're not going to touch the stove, regardless of other people are touching the stoves. That might be a terrible analogy, but you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So with that being said, and, freedom of speech comes down to Sean Strickland is an athlete. People are going to want to see him hopefully get knocked out for things he said, hopefully lose for things he said. So people are awarded that opportunity of, yes, this man can finally face the consequences of saying X, Y, and Z about a culture, a country, a religion. And, it's a touchy subject.
Yeah.
Religion is such a touchy subject. People avoid it at gatherings, at functions, at family gatherings.
But see, that's such a fucking cop out because they avoid it, but there are certain religions that are acceptable to make fun of.
Yeah.
And then there's certain religions that you can't make fun of. And it's just like, pick a side. Like, stop saying that one group can be made fun of, the other group can't. Like, we all are stupid and we all deserve to be made fun of. Every single one of us, doesn't matter religion, race, anything. We do stupid things. And in order to be better as a country and as just even a community.
So many people think Puerto Ricans are gay because of Bad Bunny.
Wait, is he gay?
I think he's bi. I think he is because he did date Kendall Jenner, so.
Mind is blown. I did not.
Don't quote me on that.
Well, maybe that's why he called him, the F word.
Yeah, maybe. But
he called him a gay foreigner. That will never not be funny. But I'm pissed that he does not know that Puerto Rico is a part of the
Yeah, that is weird. That is like, come on, Sean. You know enough about America to know that Puerto Rico.
I can't even laugh at your joke because it is
geographically incorrect. Now, if he was Mexican, okay, you could say that.
That'd be funny.
He was Cuban, okay, you can say that. I'm with you there. freedom of speech is freedom of speech. It wouldn't be on the Declaration of Independence that the government wrote.
Yeah.
You know, like, again, I'm on you with that. Like, if somebody truly has a problem, we're adults. Let's talk about it.
But here's the thing. I think you get more of a polite society when you don't try to mute the society. So if you have somebody walk up to you and you're in a society where you can say whatever you want and you say something really bad to somebody's face, and the repercussion for that is getting punched in the face for saying that, do you think they're ever really going to say that again? It builds a politer society.
For sure.
If we can go and follow Sean into the ring and beat him up for everything that he said, it creates a politer society.
Here's another problem, though. You got guys like Chud the Builder. I don't know if you know who that is.
Mm-mm.
He is a streamer who was going around Tennessee and calling black people the N-word with a hard ER at the end. And if they got physical with him, he would pepper spray them or threaten to shoot them.
What a little bitch.
Exactly. So you got guys like Sean that do it the noble way. Then you got pussies like Chud the Builder. I'm going to call him Chode the Builder. The Builder, you know, that is just a total bitch. And I think he's going to be spending a solid amount of years in prison because of attempted murder on somebody. Chode the Builder. Yeah, that's one guy I wish Sean could beat the brakes off of. You know,
like, if you're going to be racist, but be willing to take a punch in the face for it.
I'm controversial. You know, I don't say I'm misogynistic toward women. What I do is I hold them accountable. I call them out on their bullshit. Women and accountability is literally the war that we are fighting in the day of 2026. So I do that. And if you want to call me controversial, put that on me. But I don't say anything and then not expect anything to come back toward me. You know?
And that's another thing that we're living through right now is women can shit on men all day and on their problems all day. And the
man does it. I'm just a girl. I'm a single mom. So what?
And again, you live in a more polite society when you can air out your grievances and you don't feel stifled saying this stuff. And you can come to an agreement. And even in the gender war that we're having right now, it's just like, okay, that's fine. Women, if you want to shit on men, I shit on men all the time. One of my favorite things to do. Love it.
I shit on women all the time.
I've been married 11 years and I still shit on men and love it. Not literally. I talk.
No, you do. That's literally.
My OnlyFans is. No, I'm just kidding. You can subscribe.
How much are those videos?
$500 a piece.
Oh my God.
I love it. But what I'm saying is
it's coming, baby.
But all I'm saying is, girls, you can get shit on too.
Yeah, I'll be the one doing the shitting though. Yeah, you know, I think, you know, people want to compare him to Andrew Tate, you know.
He's not even in the same ballpark. Andrew Tate is such a piece of human garbage. And you want to know why? It's because he does this little, like, oh my God, I don't even know what it's called. They call it like this, like, what is it? Mass or alpha male.
Oh, male maxing.
I'm like, if you have to say that you're an alpha male, you're probably not an alpha male.
No.
Because there's one thing about an alpha male, they don't
announce it.
They demand respect. They sit back there with their shoulders up, ready to speak their mind, and they're very nice. And they're very nice to women. Those are the alpha males.
Like, if we had a female on our show and we talked to them about the war on men and women, you know, I'm not going to be like the way he acts, you know. I'm going to have a civil conversation of like, okay, you're basically a glorified prostitute when you say, I don't date broke boys, you know?
Yeah.
So, but again, there's ways to go about it on. Deliverance is important. And that's how things get misconstrued in today's world. Not just from the media standpoint, but from everybody's standpoint. You know, things get clipped, things get copied, things get pasted to where you're like, oh, well, it was a 30-second clip. He must have said that when really the actual clip was probably 1:25.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But I think you and me are in agreement that Sean is one of the biggest stars in the UFC. I've never missed a Sean Strickland fight. I actually saw Sean Strickland fight live, UFC 276, 4 years ago tomorrow, actually. And he lost to Alex Pereira by knockout. So it was crazy witnessing that live. And then when I went to the UFC Fan Expo, which is basically the Comic-Con for UFC where you can meet all the fighters, I saw this just sea of people flocking right by me. And who was right in the middle of that? Sean Strickland.
Shut up.
I tried, but there was no way I was going to get a picture with him. That man was just, and he wasn't champion at that time, but, he was still very popular.
Yeah.
And, he's just a good old fashioned American. Like he would thrive in the 70s. He would thrive in the 80s. If he was a boxer in the 80s, he'd probably be on the dollar bill.
His face looks like he should be in the 80s.
Honestly, body type too. He looks like he doesn't shower. He looks like his fucking knee brace would stink.
I mean, he's a former neo-Nazi. I would say probably he doesn't shower.
No, not at all.
They're stinky people.
They get shit on.
Yep. Actually, $500, I will shit on a neo-Nazi.
Oh, for $500, I'll shit on anybody. I don't care.
And then I also I'm going to say this as well. And this is my advice to the people that hate him. Stop talking about him then.
Yeah.
Stop writing news articles about him. Stop. You're the reason that he's blowing up.
Yeah.
You didn't give a shit about him, he probably wouldn't be as controversial as he is, honestly.
That's true. But, again, I feel like if he was just a random guy or even just a semi-famous man, he probably wouldn't. But he's a UFC champion.
Yeah.
2-time UFC champion. You don't see Brady acting like this. Manning, LeBron, Jokic. You don't see any athlete championship status acting the way that Strickland does. But the UFC is full of loose cannons. They are 1%ers. They are the one sport out of all sports where if they walk into a room filled with hockey players, football players, basketball players, swimmers, that is one sport where all the other athletes' heads will turn to that fighter and literally mentally bend the knee for them.
Yeah. They
are kings. They are the world's badasses up there with armed forces, first responders, and all those other people.
Yeah.
So I agree with you in that aspect. Stop talking about him, but, that's just who he is. John Jones, loose cannon. Conor McGregor, loose cannon. War Machine, loose cannon. Mayhem Miller, loose cannon.
Yeah.
Dustin Poirier, loose cannon. You already, abuse aside, you already have to be mentally gone in a way to want to walk into a steel cage in your bathing suit and punch another man in the face.
Yeah, you're out of your mind.
That's the God honest truth.
Yeah.
So.
Right there.
I mean, do you think you will see a world where Sean Strickland could be canceled? Because the UFC has never punished anybody for their freedom of speech. They've never suspended anybody for their actions really outside the octagon. They stripped John Jones a few times of his title when he, ran into a pregnant lady, but that could be a different video for a different day.
Yeah.
Do you see him being canceled in probably the most uncancelable sport? Uncancelable sport.
I think we're healing a little bit. I'm seeing a lot of the younger generation coming out and talking shit, which I'm so proud of them. And I'm just like, I think we're going back to the time where everything got too polite there for a second. And now we're all just kind of tired. I don't know if you guys watch Black Mirror, but there's an episode where you have these points where based off of how nice you are to people. And the lady, the character is trying to fly. And she's like, well, I'm sorry, you don't have enough points because you were not nice to this person anyways. What I'm saying is I think we're moving away from that now. So I think we're moving away from that system just a little bit at a time with each generation. I've heard the younger generation say some fucked up stuff and I laughed so hard. I don't think he's going to be canceled. I think we're going into a new generation, a new era where people are going to be a little bit more funny. I think we're all in the middle of this really traumatic, life right now. I think that we're seeing so much stuff on the TV where people are just like, okay, you can't take away this thing now. You're not going to take it away. I don't think he's going to be canceled. I don't think he should be, honestly.
I don't either, unless he goes out there and commits an absolutely heinous crime. I
mean, if he pulls a war machine, I hope he dies, just like I think War Machine.
Absolutely.
But words, I'm sorry, words should not affect you like that.
If that's the most he's doing, then by God, officer, take him away. It ain't that bad.
Yeah, and I mean, if he stands, by what he says, and then he goes out in the streets and tries to hurt somebody because of their skin color, because of their religion, then I don't agree with that.
But he's as simple as, you got a problem with me? Meet me in the gym. We'll spar.
Yeah. And you know what? The thing about him is you can probably say the most hateful shit to him too.
Yeah.
And you guys will just hit each other and it'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Exactly. we'll end it on that.
All right.
Thank you guys so much for watching, liking, subscribing. Again, the people who are suffering from this tragic fire in Beulah, we're with you. We're praying for you. Let the New Art Crime family know what we could do to help, and we will do it. All I got to say is pray for Colorado.
Yeah.
Boy, AJ Noir. That's my co-star, Mrs. Allie.
And the star of the show tonight, your daughter.
Star of my show tonight, the one, the only Miss Jayliana.
And she's welcome anytime.
Yes, I think she is back right now. Jay, come say hi.
Is she going to do it?
Yeah, I'll be right there, Emma.
Say hi to everybody.
Emma, you come say hi too.
Hi, Emma. Come on. So cute. I like your shirt. Adorable.
They said she likes your shirt.
Yeah. Thank you. You guys are adorable.
She said you guys are adorable. Speak right. They're shy.
No, they're shy. That's okay. I feel it.
We're out, y'all.
Peace.